All right. What's up, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Yo, this your boy Hoodfilms. I just want to holler out y'all about that dope movie that just came out. I know you probably heard of it. It's actually called Sinners. Brian Coogler. We got uh, Michael B. Jordan. I mean, these dudes, they did such a such a great job and such a creative job with this movie. Filmmaking is a hard gig because you have to get for movies at that level you had to get a lot of money to be securing a contract with the people. I think he went to Warner Brothers that's going to help him get that movie out to the world. So it's a long story about his plight. I've been looking at videos and everything about the guy and watching a little more information about him and everything. Ryan Coogler, the director, they say he shot this on Panavision. I mean, he shot this on 65 millimeter. I think it's a Panavision camera, but that's like really big film and all that stuff like that. And IMAX is basically what he shot it on, and you could watch the movie in IMAX. That's what they uh, want you to do. I actually watched it in like laser or something like that they got going on, and it was dope. I mean, the storyline is crazy. He wrote it himself. He actually is the owner of the film. So actually, when it's getting played, when it's done playing, when it's over, and everybody watching it on Netflix or whatever, or DVDs, whatever the next platforms are, he'll always be the owner of his own movie, and that's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially for a black dude as young as he is, and he actually owned his own movie, a Hollywood movie at that level. And again, the story was amazing. He has so much cultural information in it, and he touched on a lot of people's cultures. He touched on the fact of in the 1930s that a lot of people was indentured slaves, servants. He didn't say that in the movie, but you could see that all those people was in this little situation with the vampires. It was really dope. It was like, man, I heard about it. People was telling my mother and calling me, "Oh, it's good, it's good." I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go see it." And when I saw it, you talking about entertained completely. And after a while, I started watching, and I'm like, "What are these vampires y'all talking about, man?" But when I said that, as soon as I said it, the next scene was it. The next very scene was it, and I'm talking about it never stopped. It was nonstop, just going crazy. You talking about the best movie of 2025. I'm saying it right now. I don't know who else got movies coming out because it's just the end of the first quarter. It's a lot more stuff coming up. But that dude, he took off. He took off. So you got Michael B. Jordan, who's playing actual two people. Now, how hard is that? He's going to play two characters in this movie, twins, twin brothers. And when you're an actor at that level, you stop believing that this is the same person. It's like the characters that he played, their personality and little innuendo and little things about them was so strong and how he was able to convey that. I stopped believing that it was just him and started believing that these people were real people. And I kept wanting more of them. Like, okay, well, what happened to the brother? What happened? And then at one point, one of the brothers had got hurt or killed or shot or whatever. He was going down. And then I realized to myself, I said, that's right. They got to take one out the movie so that one character could carry the rest of the movie because it's two. He playing two people, and it's like you sitting there watching it. You like, damn, this gotta be the most exciting I've ever been in a movie in years. And it's the same guy. He made Black Panther. He made Creed. He been doing these movies, Fruitvale Station, and he say he graduated from USC. He grew up in Oakland. He was born in Oakland, but he grew up in an area called Stockton, California, which is like another suburb right there in LA. I think it's close to Fresno or Oakland or something like that. And so this is where he grew up. And then he went out. He said he think he did football or something like that. And then he went to get his grad degree at USC, which is a dope school. And my little son graduated from there. And the guy went and took off and did such a great job with this movie. All the actors was amazing. I mean, it's no character that played in this movie. Delroy Lindo, the Asian lady, the white dude who was playing the Irish vampire. Everybody just did such an impeccable job as far as acting go. You would have sat there and been like, man, this is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. And how much of an impact that they put in the storyline and how much energy they put into the storyline. It was very impeccable. And I like that he said that when I saw interviews of him, he said that his uncle stayed down the street from him in Stockton. And he said it was the only family member that stayed in that area. He said so he didn't really have family members that came from Oakland down to the Stockton area where him and his family was. He said, but he had an uncle. His uncle, worked jobs. You know how you got that uncle, he worked on cars or whatever. He said my uncle used to sit up, drink a beer, and chill. He said my uncle would tell me and play all his music for me. That was actually music, blues music. And he said they always would play so much blues music, and he really didn't really catch on to it. He said then he started blowing up, making movies, and being out of town and gone. Heard his uncle was sick. He couldn't get back out in town. He working, editing. Then he found out his uncle passed away. And he like, oh man, I couldn't even get home to see him. Oh man. So he just started having all these memories of his uncle and the time frame that he had with his uncle and being a kid, walking through his house and the conversations. And he said that was like an easy place for him to go. It was walking distance. His family didn't mind, because they from another town. It's all like, be careful out there. But it was cool for him to go to his uncle's house. And then he got famous and got rich, and he lost his uncle and he passed away. So he said as he started playing the music again that his uncle would play for him, he said now all of a sudden he started hearing it. Now he can understand the sound. He felt like his uncle was telling him, was sitting next to him, continually explaining to him what the songs was about and what stories came from those songs and what he was doing. He said his uncle was one of those people who had to leave Mississippi on a rush in the middle of the night because he had got into some issue with his white boss down in the South. And so he had to get the fuck up out of there. He said, so when he left and came up north, he, all the way in West Coast, rather, he said he just kind of was a chill dude the whole rest of his life. And he said, so that's what made him want to write a movie that could kind of work on the element of Mississippi Delta blues and what it meant. And he said in his mind, in his studies, that Mississippi Delta blues actually is the beginning of all music after that. That was the beginning music, and then every other music genre came behind it, even hip hop, from jazz to actual blues to country to pop rock. All that stuff came from the Mississippi Delta blues. Those black people down there who was making that music way back in the 20s and 30s. And so, obviously the history isn't carried on into the decades into we know now because big old conglomerate companies own music and they're not going to put information out there, so you just don't know. And then another thing that he had in the movie that was really dope, he had Buddy Guy, which is like this music legend in Chicago, and he's been around obviously before we was even born. And he actually made a cameo in it, and they shot it in Buddy Guy's store in Chicago. I mean, he got his own company or own concert place in Chicago and a bar all wrapped in one. And it's crazy, man. So for him to know all this stuff and bring those elements back into filmmaking so that we could see it, and shot it on IMAX. He shot it with, the letterbox where it's cut off at the top and the bottom. He did an amazing job. You're going to see this movie because it's going to be too big. It's going to do another one of those Black Panthers. And then he touched on every element of all the races. It's a salient segment where they do these dances. I mean, he got the Asian people there. He got the white people there. He got the black people there. But it's not like he trying to do it. It's like really cleverly done, cinematically shot, like amazing beautiful, amazing beautiful. I'm talking about all of the characters, all of the fucking makeup, all of the clothes and the costumes they wore. It's like, dude, these dudes, they are the top filmmakers in the game. Is Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, top in the game, because there's other filmmakers too. You got Zack Snyder, he do all that stuff for Marvel and all those movies and stuff for DC Universe, the Superman, all this stuff. It's just so many out there. The guys who's holding it down at the tippy top, the guys who's making all of that creative shit, who making you really want to go to the movies, who making you want to sit down in there. I ain't talking about eclectic stories. I ain't talking about, pockets, maybe a rom-com here or some funny movie there. I'm talking about all of it packaged in one. And for everybody to be entertained, no matter who you are. I don't care what your cultural background is, you're going to sit back and be like, oh, shit, that was dope. Oh, damn. I mean, you'll enjoy it. It's probably the best movie you're going to see for a couple of years. It's like that. Like, they put a lot into this. He said it took him 6 months. He said he flew out to the spot, and he got all his filmmaking people who like to work with, and he said they worked on the movie for 6 months. Budgeted up. He took it to the people. He said they ended up calling him on some sporadic shit and was like, yo, dude, what you think about Panavision, IMAX? He was like, you know what I think about it? Can I shoot my next movie on it? and then the rest is history. So he a real dope filmmaker. He know his stuff. He's very good when it comes to a high budget filmmaker, knowing how to utilize the budget to actually make it work, not just talking about excess here, excess there. He put the money into the point of the film that's going to actually bring the best essence of the movie out. The cinematography was top flight. All of the filmmaking was great on this movie. Uh, you will enjoy it so high level. You're gonna enjoy it. You should take your kids. You're gonna take your mother. You're gonna take a girl. You're gonna take everybody. You know, it's not. I'm serious. This is gonna be like a work gig. Everybody from the job gonna go down and watch this movie. It's really entertaining. It's fun, and it's a vampire movie. Could you imagine that? Like I'm telling you all this stuff about this movie. It's a fucking vampire movie. Literally a fucking vampire movie. It's no fucking faking about that. But as you start seeing it, it's so fucking well done and so much other stuff going on, the layers to bring all that, the backstories and everybody else's personality into the story, that the vampire shit in it is like, it seems smaller than it was, even though it's a hell of a element of the movie. And it just seems so much more. And then to me, when I left, I kept feeling like, damn, when the fuck can we see more of them? Like, what is it? What happened to them? Like, okay, cool. They gave you a nice little ending, but it's like I want to see more. Like, I want to see what happened in the beginning. What happened all year? Like, when did they grow up? Like, it's just so much you wanted to know. Like, they was like they was. It's just one of those kind of stories that you want to know more about all the characters. You want to know what was they up to, how was their lives, how can you see them more? And you know, in movies, it's nothing you can do. You know, most times you just got to enjoy the character inside the bottle of that movie and enjoy it and just move on from it. And I think that that's what we are going to do. You're going to love this movie. You're going to talk about it just like I'm doing right now. It's called Sinners. It's crazy good. Michael B. Jordan, um, Ryan Coogler, director, dope cast, dope people behind the scenes on this movie. You're gonna enjoy it, man. So that's all I got on this, man. My people, I'm gonna hit y'all up in the soon with a new video, new everything. Holla at y'all later.